Over more than 3 decades, multiple public health studies have shown that being Black is bad for your health, and Pew Charitable Trust points out that racism is the cause. Now, several cities and towns in our region and beyond are responding, declaring racism a public health crisis. The Chicopee City Council, which passed a resolution last week, was among the first in the region to make this declaration. But how will this address the problem? I spoke with Ward 1 City Councilor Joel McAuliffe, who proposed the idea about that and more.
It was an effort that was led by activists in our community, people who led the Black Lives Matter march in our city a little more than a week ago, community organizers, people from all different walks of life and backgrounds who wanted to come together and send a message that racism of any kind is unacceptable, and that acknowledging the fact that different forms of racism affect people's lives, and declaring it a public health crisis sends a strong message to everybody that we condemn any form of racism, but also acknowledges the problems that they create.
And we heard Mayor Sarno in Springfield this week come out and say he supports this measure here in the city of Springfield. City Council hasn't taken it up yet, so I think this makes the city of Chicopee the first in at least Western Massachusetts. We've seen Boston and Somerville make similar proposals come to light in recent weeks. In terms of what this actually means, though, how will this actually push change in Chicopee?
Well, the important first step is it creates a dialogue. We've had activism in our city that we've never seen, as I referenced, the Black Lives Matter protest, a peaceful protest here in the city of Chicopee. We had a speak out at Chicopee High School. A lot of this is led by young people in our community, and it's been said time and time again that there is no major social change, no real significant change in our country that hasn't happened without being led by that young people. That's what's happening here. And it's creating a dialogue between law enforcement, between elected officials, and between the activists and community members in our city to take a look at some of the issues that we're seeing nationwide and examine the impact that they have on our community, use of force standards, making sure our officers and our city employees go through bias training. These are important things. We can't, as we like to say all lives matter until we affirm that Black lives matter. And that's what we're trying to do here today, to truly live up to that expectation that everyone is created equal.
You mentioned bias training there in the police department. Something else that's been coming up around police departments across the state and even the country is this idea of the civil service exam, which is used for both fire and police in a number of communities, including Chicopee. But there's been a lot of questions about the use of that exam and whether or not it prohibits people of color from making it, having the opportunity to be then selected for a force. Do you think the city of Chicopee should look at the use of that exam as a determinant?
Absolutely, and I appreciate the question because, civil service was originally created to root out the politicization of things like police, fire departments, basically positions where people could do political favoritism to appoint people to positions, but it's outlived its usefulness, and we're seeing it cause quite a bit of problems, even in our own city, where officers who have made egregious and terrible decisions. In certain instances, if you relate back to the Amanda Plass murder situation here in our city, where officers shared photos of the crime scene, just incredibly bad decisions, really detestable. Those officers were allowed to come back to work because they appealed those rulings to civil service. So I'll be introducing legislation. We'll be having conversations to withdraw the city from civil service. I know that there are a number of counselors and a number of members of the police department who share those opinions. We're in the beginning stages of those conversations, but we think that they're going to lead us down the right path, because certainly we've seen the problems with civil service and we need to make sure we address them.
And recently, Chicopee spokesperson at the police office, Michael Wilk, was removed from his position because of tweets he made on social media, inappropriate tweets, and in some cases racist tweets about Black Lives Matter. However, the Mass Live reported that had been going on since 2012. You've been on the city council for a number of years now. You also worked under Mayor Cossa's administration. Did the city turn a blind eye to what he was doing?
I think the answer in some situations is yes, and we need to examine that. We have been far too lax with allowing people who are in positions of public trust to say and do things without consequence. When you serve in these kinds of positions, you're held to a different standard, and we have to be better than that. I condemn those comments unequivocally, and I appreciate the action that Mayor View took to remove him as public information officer. But there are steps that need to continue to be taken, and those are steps that only the mayor and the police chief can take. That's why I've introduced legislation to revive our civilian police commission so that our civilians can make these determinations in terms of discipline, so that there is unbiased discipline handed down. It's a measure that we need to take and that we have to take if things are going to get better.
How has that measure been received so far? It's been a controversial issue here in Springfield, for sure. The mayor and the city council continue to go back and forth on it.
Well, it was introduced last night. It's gone to a subcommittee, and for people who pay attention to government, we often get frustrated with how slow things can move at times. But it is going to have to go to subcommittee, and I think that's a good thing in this regard because it will allow for public comment. Since COVID-19 came down, the open meeting law has been suspended. It has not allowed for our residents to have public input on the measures that come across the city council. But I have commitments from the city council president, President Brooks, and the chairman of public safety, Councilor Zagorowski, to work with them so that we can restore public input for this measure. I'm looking forward to hearing from members of the public so that they can have their voices heard on this measure. And I think there is a significant momentum building with regards to support for it.
Speaking of that momentum, and you referenced protests that you saw in your city earlier in our conversation, Chicopee is a relatively small city, about 55,000 people, relatively quiet community on the whole too. Have you been surprised by how you've seen a national issue become a local issue there in Chicopee?
Well, we're seeing this all over the country, really. And as I said in my remarks last night, these are protests and events that a few years ago you wouldn't have seen happen in communities like ours. And if you did, it was a relatively small number of people who were immediately affected by them. But this is where we start to see real change occur. When I went to these protests and these events, not only did you see people, black, brown, from all different walks of life and backgrounds, you also saw people that looked like me and my colleagues. That is a sign of the tide turning. Should not be a political issue to say Black Lives Matter. It shouldn't be a controversial issue. It is a basic human right to say that another race is equal and their lives matter. But as I said before, we cannot truly live up to that idea unless it is backed up in our policies and in our laws. And that's what we're committed to doing.